Welcome to Ottawa Experts. I'm your host, Jasmine Rose, and on today's episode, we will be discussing the importance of relaxation. Some days you can be doing so much, you're running on empty, and then stress takes over. Here to discuss the benefits of relaxation is Samantha Susi. You're a massage therapist at Le Nordique Spa,
yes,
as well as assistant director at Le Centre Orchidée.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Awesome. And Marc Lehane joins us. You're a yoga instructor as well as a seminar leader.
Right.
And we have Marianne Trottier from Le Nordique Spa. Thank you all for joining me and for being here. So throughout the show, we're going to have the opportunity to allow our callers to phone in and ask us their questions. And our panel is ready to answer your questions. Ready to go. You've actually provided us with giveaways to our callers. Marc, you brought in some DVDs, some yoga DVDs. And Marianne, thank you so much for the Nordique Spa package. That's fun.
Pleasure.
Marc, tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I started off, oddly enough, as a software developer back in the day, but for the last 10 years, 11 years coming this May, I've been teaching yoga and working as a mind-body coach with people, helping them deal with stress management, change management, all sorts of habits and patterns, and ultimately leading them towards making more conscious choices in their life instead of being controlled by their emotional patterns, basically.
And what inspired you to create these DVDs?
Well, I wanted a tool to give to people that they can, because this yoga practice that it's not just for once a week, but you want to be doing it regularly, and it's something that everybody needs to be doing. Like your body needs to go through these directions, on a regular basis. Otherwise, it gets stiff and hard and tense, and all sorts of negative things happen. So I just wanted a tool for people to have, so that they didn't have that excuse. Well, I can't make it to a yoga studio. Well, here you go.
You can do it
Take
at
me home.
Yeah, you can do it at home. And Samantha, how did you get involved in Le Nordique?
Well, I wanted to work in health and wellness, and I decided I would go and work at the biggest spa in the region. And so
It's
I was
incredible. I read it is the largest spa in North America.
Yeah. And that's working at the front desk was actually how I discovered massage therapy, because I saw the massage therapists coming and going, and I was curious, I would like to do what they do, and I started training as well while I was working there. So yeah, I've been there for 5.5 years now, and now managing the school as well, the massage therapy school. So I've transitioned a lot in my career, but still staying in the health and wellness, which I'm passionate about.
That's wonderful. Marianne, Nordique is located 10 minutes from downtown Ottawa.
That's right.
And tell us about the facility. It's amazing.
So we're located just at the entrance of the Gatineau Park in this little charming town called Old Chelsea. Nordique actually opened this door in 2005, so we're actually going to celebrate our 10th anniversary this year, so we're pretty excited about that.
That is very exciting.
Yes.
And Le Nordique tell us about the thermotherapy.
It's thermal therapy, so this is actually, it comes from the Scandinavian countries, right, from the Nordic countries. So what we do over there is, of course, massage therapy, we do body treatments, but also the thermal therapy, which included all the saunas, the pools, and the resting areas.
And I love the outdoor facility with the baths, and how you just go from bath to bath. It's like a station, right? It's like different stations.
It definitely is. There's some steps that needs to be followed if you want to get all of the benefits of the thermal therapy. So the first step would be hot, which is saunas. So we have 8 different saunas, with each of them has a different experience, or different smell, or different light. After, the second step would be cold. So to do that, you can either just get out of the sauna and walk around, or you can also plunge into the cold water.
Oh!
Yeah, it's very cool. And it's very good for your body, because you can be like a thermal shock. You have a push of adrenaline. And after that, when you go rest, you can find a warm spot. It could be like a warm hammocks that we have, or it could be just beside a fireplace.
You can zip yourself up.
That's right, and they're heated,
That's
so
awesome.
it's pretty cool. So you rest there, and this is where the endorphins take over your body, and this is where you feel really relaxed.
So now, both for yoga and massage therapy, should your clients be consulting a doctor prior to practicing or participating if they have any issues, or? health issues?
I think if they have any issues, yeah, definitely. I mean, and if anyone, even if you don't have issues, if you're doing any kind of new movement, it's always, go at it slower at first and get to know the movements and get to know your body in those movements before you rush into anything too extreme. I think people tend to push themselves a little too hard sometimes with this.
And yeah, for massage therapy, definitely if there are any specific health issues, or if there's something like an accident, a car accident that happened recently, it's important to consult your doctor before coming for a massage, because they need to determine whether or not a massage can be beneficial or not.
Right. Depending on the circumstance.
Exactly, yeah. And sometimes if someone has had a surgery, they have to ask their doctor how long is a good time to wait before getting a massage.
Okay. Now, Mark, for somebody who has never tried yoga, what should they know before trying it?
Well, that again, like it's so people think like they have to do every single pose perfectly, right? And it's not like that. You're going to go and you get into the movement as best you can, and don't compare yourself to everybody else in the room, because we're all coming into it with different bone structures and different experiences with our bodies and different mindsets and different moods and different. And so like you go to these studios and they have all these different people in the class, and you just got to know, okay, I can go as far into this movement, I can still breathe, I can still keep a soft face. Once you get into this,
it's important.
Once you get into this spot, you're going too far. and I get it, because you want to get these challenges. But the analogy there is, can you stay calm and focused throughout the challenges? So challenge, get out of your comfort zone, challenge your peak a little bit, but know when you need to back off a little bit and keep that focus, because that's what differentiates yoga from any other movement like it. It's the calmness and focus that you're trying to achieve amongst the challenge.
Right.
Right.
And is there anything we need to be bringing with us to yoga?
I guess it depends on the style of yoga you're going to be doing, or hot room or not hot room and all that kind of stuff. I mean, comfortable clothing. Usually most studios have a yoga mats and the props for you in there. So just bring an open-mindedness and a willingness to explore some fun sensations, I guess.
Water.
Yeah.
Bring some water.
Yeah. Water.
And Marianne, for Le Nordique, is there anything we should be doing prior to arriving or bringing with us?
Well, definitely bring your bathing suit and flip-flops. That would be a good start. Wintertime, bring a toque. It's really nice to have.
It helps to keep your head
That's
warm.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. When you're just enjoying the hot tub, it's nice to have a toque. Water bottles also, because we don't provide them anymore in order, for the environment.
Right.
So,
Yes.
so
No, that's
bring
very
your own
good.
water bottle. That would be great. And you can bring your own bathrobe, but we also rent it at the spa. We provide, of course, a locker and towels. Yeah.
Do we need to make reservations?
Not for the thermal therapy itself, but definitely for the massage and body treatments. Yes, then you need to do a reservation in it.
Now, Mark, what is the best type of yoga for stress relief? Is it the yin yoga?
The yin or restorative yoga, like they're very similar from the outside. One's a little more relaxing than the other, but they're both restorative and like relaxing in nature. So instead of trying to actively push or pull through the movements, you're relaxing for longer periods of time and really getting the opportunity to focus in and calm that nervous system down. Basically.
I really enjoyed the yin yoga with the candles.
The
was there any
candlelight,
benefit to the candles,
well,
or was it just a...
I think we're trying to keep like and we want to keep the focus in more. And so like often you go to a yoga class and it's easy to look around everywhere at what everyone else is doing. What some people really like about that yin class is that people feel more comfortable because no one can see them as easily, right?
That's true.
And we just, it kind of suits the whole relaxation vibe. Candles, even at home sometimes I'll put some candles on or the fireplace and just kind of with the lights low. And like with the senses drawn out from the outside world, you can go in a little bit more that way, and really focus on.
So now power yoga is completely opposite, right?
Yeah, which you're gonna have to come to one of those classes at one point
I don't know
too.
if I can handle that.
Well, and the thing is, the idea that people don't get with their workouts or their yoga practices, that I would like everyone to get to the end of their power class even still feeling like they have a lot of energy left over and a relaxed feeling. So if you're feeling like wiped and drained, I think you went too hard. And so you'll get more of the benefit from that stuff if you, again, find that little bit of ease in the challenge instead of going so hard that you burn yourself out and wipe your resources out by the end of the program. So it is definitely not as relaxing as the yin, but it'll still give you some of the good physiological benefits.
And now I've read that in a typical day we take 20,000 breaths. So what's the difference between normal breathing and then that, deep, controlled breathing.
And so again, depending on some of the styles of yoga and what they're doing, but the general breathing that most people do throughout their day, because they're not thinking of it and they're usually locked in tension and stresses, it's very shallow into the chest kind of breathing. And so the idea is to get a little bit more of a diaphragmatic breathing, so more into the belly and the chest, deeper breath, so you're intaking a lot more oxygen. And as you slow the breath down, it calms the nervous system down. Right, so you're getting out of sympathetic nervous system into parasympathetic and into that rest and relaxation mode. And even, 10 deep breaths can have that same effect.
Wow, yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. Now, is meditation and yoga, do they complement each other? Are they different?
Yeah, one can be, they can be interchanged, and traditionally, the physical mat practice was used to prepare you for the seated meditation, so that it got you a little more relaxed and so that you can sit without the other distractions in your body. But you could also use that, meditation is focusing your attention. And so if I'm focused on my breathing or focused on the sensations, focused on the pose, then it's a form of meditation as well. I still recommend 5 to 15 minutes of seated on a chair, maybe not on the floor, but seated, either deep breathing or some kind of a meditative or energy in practice, I like to call it.
Now, I've heard that it's best to do something relaxing, or prior to making an important decision. Do you guys all agree with that? I'll start with you, Samantha. Do something relaxing, get a massage, or take a moment and do something relaxing before making that important decision.
Yes, of course, and especially as a massage therapist, I talk to people when they're before and after they get their massage.
And you can see the difference.
Yes. Some people come in and they'll say something brief about their day or something that they're going through, an experience in their life. Some people, if they're living a lot of stress, they'll say it right away, and then an hour later or an hour and a half later, you see the way they are when they leave the room, and they're completely different because they've taken time to breathe exactly, pay attention to their body and what's going on in their body, and just relax and let go of that tension. A lot of the tension that we hold in our body manifests as physical tension or pain, but a lot of the time it's psychological. Sometimes it's related to what we're thinking of. Mm-hmm. So if we just take the time to turn our thoughts off for an hour or so and just breathe and just be with our body and be quiet for a while, then the body sometimes just relaxes itself. So it makes my job a lot easier. Sometimes the person just does their own work as they're relaxing.
And Mark, how do you feel about that statement?
I agree totally, because when you're in a stressed kind of or fight or flight kind of mode, there's even so that your conscious part of your mind, your forebrain, the blood vessels are actually constricting and the blood is going into the hindbrain. So you're kind of running on habit and pattern. And so if you're coming from that state and trying to make a decision or take action on something, you don't know necessarily you're making the right decision unless you're coming from a clear, calm, focused place. So I think it's very important.
And Marianne, would you suggest before making an important decision, come to the Nordique?
Definitely. Being in a sauna for 15 minutes and sweat and
sweat it out.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. Just get rid of your toxins. That's good. Yeah, you need that.
So we're going to have to take a quick break. But when we come back, we'll continue our discussion about relaxation, and we hope to see you then. video. I love the Nordique. I just fell in love with that video, and I want to go there like ASAP. So in the video, we didn't see much snow, for the exception of the snowballs.
Yeah.
How does the winter experience differ from the summer experience?
Well, being in a bathing suit outside in the snow, it's pretty amazing by itself. All the paths surrounding the pools are heated, so there's no ice or snow accumulation, so you can still walk with your flip-flops without having the feet in the snow. And of course, we have many warm places, the saunas, for example, but also all the resting areas that we have. So you won't be cold. Never. I mean, you will, even if you go out with your that's right, and you can just wrap yourself in the bathrobe while you're doing, going through a sauna to another place, so you won't be cold. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is a very different experience.
Completely,
but they're both very beneficial to the bottle.
Oh, yes.
Body. I'm thinking of the bottle of water that you guys have. So yoga and massage therapy can be done outdoors, right?
Yep.
In the spring, do you have any activities or sessions going on outdoors?
We've been doing on Parliament Hill, we started it I think 9 years ago now, the yoga on Parliament Hill every Wednesday, 12 o'clock from May, starts sometime mid-May and goes until mid-September. And so we get in close to 1,000 people every week up there, yeah.
Yeah, it is very popular.
Yeah.
And what about massages? Do you tend to take them outdoors?
Yes,
We saw you, unwrapping
in the
that
video.
room.
Yeah, that's new. We started that last
summer.
September. Last summer
Yes.
was the first year we did that. And so, yeah, they have rooms outdoors now where you can go, you're going upstairs, so where you're getting your massage, you have a view of the whole spa.
That's
and
beautiful.
It's beautiful. We open the curtains, if you like, during the massage, and it's just a beautiful experience to have the real sounds of the animals.
Sure.
And
Oh yeah, the birds and the waterfall, because it's just
Yeah.
above it, so it's really cool.
Very neat.
Yeah.
Now, most of us enjoy lying on a beach, and that's how we find our sense of calmness. But for those of us who need to be more active, what do you suggest, Mark, for somebody who needs to be more active? Is it the power yoga?
Yeah, I mean, well, any activity that they enjoy at the end of the day, if it's something that you enjoy, rather than something that's a chore, then I think you're going to be more, when you're in having that fun feeling, it's a lot more of an energy in type
If
exercise.
it's putting on the boxing gloves, then go for it.
Go
That's what
for it,
relaxes
or dancing,
you.
or playing with your kids, or whatever it is that people think of exercise as traditionally it has to look like on a treadmill or in a gym kind of thing. But no, I mean, it's whatever gets you moving and having fun,
Right.
to me, could be exercise.
So what if I have a hard time? I'm not saying I do personally, but if I have a hard time being silent, is yoga maybe not the best option?
Well, I think that for anything that you have a hard time doing, you get better at it if you do it more often. So I'd say
Because you do have to be silent
yeah.
and hold the pose for a while,
And it's a practice that I was someone who was always moving, and then yin, you get there and it's 3 to 5 minutes per pose. And so my first yin class I was tricked into it because I didn't realize what it was. And the guy's like, "We're going to be here for 5 minutes," and I'm like, good joke. And he sets this timer. I'm like, wow, he's taking this joke a little too far. but and then you once I had a hard time with it at the beginning, but then it's like training your mind. You just learn to relax and stay still and be comfortable with the silence and the stillness. Because I think that's what really, we always want distraction. We always want something going on. We always want, but to shut things down for a moment and reboot this computer inside. And so to just close your eyes and not have any distraction for a little bit and be okay with that.
Right.
I think that's the practice that
And I think a lot of people opt for massage therapy because it's just, it requires minimal effort, right? You just show up, you can lie down, and it's just so relaxing. Tell us a little bit about the history of massage therapy.
Well, the history dates back thousands of years, actually. If you look at Ayurvedic history, as far back as 6,000 years, there were images in pyramids of people working on other people, so treatments that resemble what would be osteopathy these days, or physiotherapy. So it's pretty old, yeah.
It dates back.
Yeah, and they're very recent. Massage therapy keeps changing and evolving, and each country and each region has their own approaches, and everyone's unique, right? So I could take a course, for example, to learn one type of massage, but then I'll put my personal touch into it, and then so my my Californian massage might not be the same as the next,
If you
but
go, yeah.
it's just a different style, and we adapt our styles, and we adapt also to the person's needs. So it can be very unique.
Which makes sense. Now, what are the different styles or approaches of massage therapy? Because you know, when you go to get a massage, you get it's almost like a menu with all the different types.
Yeah.
And we saw in the video there the stones. You know, like tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that one is the hot stone massage. So the stones are heated and then placed on strategic places on the body, and some are left to sit for a while, so the heat can go deep and really warm up the muscle at a deeper level. And then while that's happening, we leave them to sit, and then we go massage somewhere else with the stones in our hands or not. But mostly, yeah, we'll hold the stones in the palms of our hands, and we're massaging with that. So it's a completely different experience because we're holding.
I didn't know you guys actually kept the stones in your hands.
Yeah, so that's the technique that we learn, is to work, because it's different. Instead of working with our hands, fingers, forearms, and we have to think about that stone that we have in the palm, and the feeling is completely different. And because of the heat, the massage, you can go get a deeper level of relaxation.
Okay, so that's great. Yeah, that's definitely something to think about when you're going for a massage.
Sign me up.
Yeah, exactly.
Try that now.
Yeah.
The best, I think.
Now, Mark, how does relaxation aid with getting a good night's sleep?
Well, and I mean, so I think there's two ways to look at that. You get a good night's sleep, you can have a much more relaxing day the next day. But if what you're doing before you go to bed that night, like, you know, right before bedtime, can dictate whether or not you have a really good sleep. And if you're in a more relaxed state as you're falling asleep, you know, like that's what you're working. Your unconscious mind works with that all night. And so if I'm stressed and thinking about my worries and all that kind of stuff as I fall asleep, and then my eyes open in the morning and they're already on that same track. So if you want to get a good restful night's sleep, start, you know, what you're doing before bed for the good couple of hours, even before bed. You know, exposing yourself to negative stuff on TV or anything that's going to pump your nervous. Yeah, like I wouldn't do that kind of stuff. You know, even what yoga poses you do around bedtime can affect, you know, how well you sleep. So it's definitely, you want to start to calm the nervous system down as much as you can before bedtime.
Get a massage before bed.
Yeah.
Get a massage. Yeah, is that what you recommend later in the day?
Some people like their massage at the end of the day, because then they can just go home and probably take a bath and just go right to bed. Some people also get massages, have people go to their homes so that they can they're right beside their
because you do get all the oils, and you don't want to carry that throughout the day on your body, right? And
well, not so much.
No? Is that okay?
Well, people do, yes.
Yeah?
We have towels in the room, so that if you're getting dressed and putting back on your clothing instead of putting on your bathing suit, some people will only come for the massage, then they can just kind of wipe off the extra oil on their skin. And the oil is good, especially winter. Our skin gets so dry that we need some of that oil to stay on, and it can be beneficial.
So if somebody wants to become a massage therapist, how do they go about, like, how does one become a massage therapist?
Well, there are different trainings. The training depends on which province you want to study in. So Ontario is very different from Quebec, for instance. So there are different massage therapy schools, and the number of hours of training varies from province to province. So it depends first what province you live in. And in Ontario here, the training is 2,200 hours. Wow. Yeah, it takes 2 years.
Wow. So Mark, how does one become a yoga instructor?
They do my yoga teacher training specifically, because you take there's the general program out there, like from the Yoga Alliance, is a 200-hour teacher training program, and it's either done over like a year period, or sometimes there's like we're going to be giving like a month intensive in Jamaica for a month, like in December. So I mean, depending on where and how you want to do it and how it can fit in your schedule.
Do you have any online webinars coming up?
We do, actually. We have this Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. We're doing a how to get everything done and still have energy left over for yourself.
Oh, wow.
That's the title of the workshop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. And now with Valentine's Day coming up, Marianne, tell us a little bit about what packages you offer at Le Nordique.
Well, we have a restaurant on site, so definitely we do have a great table d'hôte to offer, massage and the thermal therapy. You have enough to spend a full day with the one you love to spend at the spa for sure. To tell you the truth, all the massages are pretty reserved, already reserved now for the 13, 14 and 15, but
I'm sure it gets very, very popular.
yes, it is.
Like,
but
what more romantic than
yeah.
you know, spa night?
But if you get a gift certificate, you have all the time to use it. You know, you can use it a week or two after St. Valentine's and come in anyway. So yeah.
It
So,
becomes Valentine's week.
Valentine's week.
Oh yeah, we
yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. At Nordic, it's
Oh, I'm
Valentine's
sure it'll
week.
soon be Valentine's month.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And anything else that you want to add about yoga for this month?
This, as far as stuff coming on, well, you know, the website will always have, like, I'm moving more towards online stuff, so we're going to have a lot of different webinars and workshops online that are coming up, dealing with from weight loss to, there's a great one on energy management. Like, that's the big thing, energy in, energy out. What's that balance? You know, how do I get to that end of that day and still have, like, my energy left over for the things that matter to me most?
Well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to take some phone calls from our viewers. So we'll be back. Stay with us. All right. Welcome back to Ottawa Experts. We're discussing relaxation with Samantha Soucy